Fans, one more tag team match to wrap up the first hour tonight. Who is going to face Wilcox and Hollywood for the Rage Tag Team titles? Will it be the Iron Sheik and Tojo Yamamoto, or former champions Chris Wylde and Jeff Fortune? That's what this match is going to decide.
This next tag match, one fall with a 20-minute time limit, is a number 1 contender match for the Rage Tag Team Championships. Approaching the ring first, at a combined weight of 482 pounds, from Tokyo, Japan, Tojo Yamamoto, and from Tehran, Iran, the Iron Sheik.
Now, while Chris and Jeff are the former Rage Tag Team champions pre-Wilcox in Hollywood, the Iron Sheik and Tojo used to be Tag Team champions, Legends Division, and they want to get some gold back. Now, they've got a lot more experience than the 12 to 15 years that Chris and Jeff already have in RWO. So it's going to be a real tough call for both teams. And of course, it cannot be ignored that Chris Wylde and Jeff Fortune were not only the former Rage Tag Team champions, they have been Tag Team champions a vast number of times in that 12 to 15 years that they've been in RWO. And it's going to be a very tough match all the way down the road between them, Tojo, and the Iron Sheik.
As for me, I'm thinking towards next week's Supercard. If Wylde Fortune wins, they've got a fair chance of getting the Rage Tag belts back from Wilcox and Hollywood. But if it's the Sheik and Tojo, Wilcox and Hollywood better bring their dancing shoes.
Their opponents at a combined weight of 454 pounds, from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Chris Wylde, and from Loch Lomond, Virginia, Jeff Fortune, the team of Wylde Fortune.
So you think the Sheik and Tojo could defeat Wilcox in Hollywood? Pray tell me why.
Because their odds of losing would go up quite a bit. Sheik and Tojo are definitely more experienced. In thinking Oliver and Tommy, along with Faye Crawford, would rather take their chances against Wylde Fortune again.
So who's facing Wilcox in Hollywood next week? We will know at the end of the final bell. Tojo Yamamoto and Chris Wylde starting us off. There's the bell. Tojo misses with the knee, rebounds off the middle rope, takes down Chris Wylde with a flying elbow, follows it up with a stomp. A drop kick to the back of the head. Chris Wylde just a step too fast. Chris with a hard forearm to Tojo. Tojo Yamamoto down on the canvas as Chris Wylde starts to go to work here. A rolling elbow across the chest of Tojo. A solid kick across the back. And another. Chris Wylde really starting to open up here against Tojo Yamamoto. A rear chin lock. Referee Willie Johnson checking things out here, but whoa, Tojo quickly out of that one. Tojo Yamamoto driving hard knees into the midsection of Chris Wylde. Chris goes behind on Tojo, German suplex. Chris with an overhand right. A kick to the midsection, a clubbing overhand right to Tojo's back. Down he goes. Here comes Jeff Fortune, the former Rage Tag Team champions, multi-time Tag Team champions, Wylde Fortune. So far, firmly in control of this match. Jeff Fortune with an elbow escapes the corner. Tojo opens up with a series of kicks that backs Jeff Fortune off. Jeff catches a clothesline from Tojo and down he goes. Tojo Yamamoto steps out. Here comes the Iron Sheik. Sheiky baby moves in. Winds up the... Oh man, look at this. The Iron Sheik slamming Jeff Fortune to the canvas, follows it up with an arm break. Oh. Jeff Fortune misses with the elbow, counters with another. A running elbow takes down the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik countered again by Jeff Fortune. Jeff goes behind, slams the Iron Sheik down to the canvas. Jeff Fortune quickly making his way up to the top turnbuckle here as the Iron Sheik stands himself up. Tojo trying to stop it. The high-risk maneuver changed out for a knee to the head by Jeff Fortune. Jeff quickly beating it out of town, and here comes Chris Wylde again. Chris Wylde, a Memphis millionaire and a multi-time Tag Team champion. The Iron Sheik with Chris Wylde up over the shoulders, hangs him up off the top rope. Down goes Chris. Sheik drives a knee into the back of Chris Wylde. Iron Sheik locks him up. Elbows to the midsection from Chris. Backs off the Sheik. Big time drop kick. Jeff Fortune catches a jawbreaker from the Iron Sheik, followed up with a clothesline. Iron Sheik steps out. Here comes Tojo Yamamoto. The team of Sheik and Tojo. Very efficient pairing. Tojo with a series of shots and a back fist and a rebound off the ropes with an elbow that takes Chris Wylde down to the canvas. Chris rounded up again. Tojo with a series of wrist clutch kicks takes Chris Wylde down to the canvas. And Tojo Yamamoto going to take his time, torturing the arm and following it up with a pair of knees into the back of Chris Wylde. A series of hard lefts from Tojo, followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Tojo, a hard right, spins around Chris. Look at this. Whoa, what a wrist clutch knee right there from Tojo. Tojo Yamamoto rounds up Chris, misses with the spin kick, catches a headbutt from Chris Wylde, and here comes Jeff Fortune on the tag again. Both teams tagging extremely efficiently. This is going to be a very tough #1 contenders match. Tojo Yamamoto countered by Jeff Fortune. Jeff Fortune locked up. Whoa, what a kick from Tojo Yamamoto. Tojo with a discus punch that takes down Jeff Fortune. Jeff Fortune slams him face down to the canvas by his arm. Here comes Chris Wylde again. Tojo Yamamoto catches a kick, a right, a chop, goes behind, German suplex from Chris Wylde. Chris turns him over, gathers him up again, leg sweep from Tojo Yamamoto. Tojo out here on the outside, on the apron. Whoa! Hung up Chris Wylde off the top rope. Brings himself back inside the ring. Kick to the midsection from Chris. Chris whips Tojo out onto the apron again. Gets a hold and gets hung up a second time. Tojo Yamamoto extremely lucky out there on the apron this evening. Kick to the midsection from Chris and a DDT center ring to Tojo. Here comes Jeff Fortune. Jeff moves in on Tojo. Kick to the midsection, quickly countered by Tojo Yamamoto. Tojo whips Jeff to the far corner. A series of kicks, one to the face, and down goes Jeff Fortune. A kick to the chest, and oh, look at this. Tojo just pushing all his weight into the chest of Jeff Fortune, and whoa, both knees right into the chest. A little bit of showboating from Tojo, and here comes the Iron Sheik. Sheiky, baby, rounded up by Jeff Fortune, whipped into the far corner. Jeff pulls him out, takes himself to the middle rope, and oh, what a bulldog off the middle rope. And here comes Chris Wylde again. Tojo Yamamoto just getting to a standing position here as Chris locks him up. Escorts him to the ropes. Chris Wylde drops him down to the middle rope, and here he comes. Drives the knee right into the back of the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik locked up against, slammed face first into the canvas with an inverted Russian leg sweep. A jawbreaker from the Iron Sheik and a clothesline that takes Chris Wylde down to the canvas again. Iron Sheik gathers him back up. Escorts him to his team's corner, head first into the turnbuckle. But Chris quick with the counter. And a knee to the head to the Iron Sheik that takes him down to the canvas again. Chris Wylde locks him up. Iron Sheik counters with a series of elbows. Chris Wylde catches an uppercut from the Sheik. Iron Sheik with Chris up over the shoulder, snake eyes right across the top turnbuckle. Iron Sheik drives a knee into the arm of Chris Wylde. Chris gathered up again by the Iron Sheik. Hard Irish whip to the opposing team's corner. And the Iron Sheik introduces him head first into the buckle again. Chris quickly counters with a right, locks up the Iron Sheik, slams him face first into the canvas again with that inverted Russian leg sweep. And here comes Jeff Fortune once more. Iron Sheik back to a standing position as Jeff Fortune rains blows and follows it up with a DDT. Immediately covers, hooks the leg one, and barely just a one. Tojo Yamamoto keen to get in there, but Jeff Fortune with a crossface on the Iron Sheik, preventing the tag. Referee Willie Johnson monitoring the Iron Sheik. Look at this. Chris Wylde going after Tojo. Iron Sheik trying to extricate himself. Whoa! What a way to get out of the hold. Dropping Jeff Fortune like a sack of potatoes. A series of chops, a kick, and a dragon screw from the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik rounds him up. Quick counter from Jeff Fortune. Fortune locks him up, has him up, drives a knee right into the midsection of the Iron Sheik. Iron Sheik counters with a kick to the head of Jeff Fortune. Jeff rounded up again. A hard right spins him around by the Iron Sheik. Sheik with a nice suplex on Jeff Fortune. He looks like he might be in big trouble. Might want to think about tagging in Chris Wylde again. Hit first into the turnbuckle, and here's a tag to Tojo, and a double team from the pair. Jeff catches a huge back body drop as Tojo Yamamoto assumes control of this match for his team. A series of running forearms. Jeff Fortune quickly counters. A kick to the midsection. Tries for the DDT, but no good. Tojo Yamamoto with a series of shots. Tojo takes him back to his team's corner. Head first into the buckle. Here comes the Iron Sheik again. This team clicking like a 21 dual watch. Hard shot to the midsection. A hard shot to the back. Iron Sheik with another shot to the back of Jeff Fortune. And a third. Iron Sheik absolutely relentless here. Whoa! Did you see that? It was like a cobra clutch suplex. Jeff slams the Iron Sheik to the canvas. Locks him up. Sets up the neckbreaker and nails it. As Jeff Fortune decides it's time to go and turns it over to Chris Wylde. Iron Sheik charges, misses with the clothesline, catches a kick to the midsection to Chris Wylde. A standing drop kick that takes Chris down to the mat again. Iron Sheik dragging Chris Wylde towards center. Chris Wylde counters with a nice kick that takes the Sheik down. Chris Wylde rounds up the Iron Sheik again. Takes him back to the Wylde Fortune corner. Head first into the turnbuckle. A hard right from Chris. Iron Sheik counters with an elbow. Finds his way out. A snapmare and a driving knee right into the face of Chris Wylde from the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik again dragging Chris towards center, but Chris making his way to the corner. And here comes Jeff Fortune on a hot tag. Whoa, this should be good. Jeff Fortune nails him with a neckbreaker. Iron Sheik trying to get back to his feet, catches a knee from Jeff. Iron Sheik in all kinds of pain here. Chris Wylde watching as Jeff Fortune sets up a possible submission here. Whoa! Stretching the leg, the knee, the everything. The lower half of the Iron Sheik got to be in agony. Jeff Fortune's got it locked in well. Referee Willie Johnson checking things out, but Jeff releases the hold. Rounds the Iron Sheik back up to a standing position. Sheik counters with a kick to the midsection. Jeff counters. A kick and another DDT to the Iron Sheik. A stomp to the arm. Jeff Fortune working on both arms here. He goes for the cover, but too close to the ropes. Those Persian boots, just a little bit too long. Headbutt from Jeff Fortune on the Iron Sheik. And now it's the Iron Sheik who looks like he might be in trouble. Locks up Jeff Fortune. Takes him towards his team's corner, smashes his head into the turnbuckle. Here comes Tojo Yamamoto, and here comes another double team. Jeff whipped to the ropes again, double shoulder tackle. And Tojo Yamamoto stalking Jeff Fortune here. This may not be good. Tojo has him up, inverted fireman's carry, a knee right to the head, and here goes a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2, but only a 2. Jeff Fortune kicking out a 2 here. Tojo catching some elbows from Jeff. Tojo backs off towards the corner. Jeff Fortune has a hold of the trunks. He's got him up. Oh! Drops him. Face first. Jeff Fortune locks up, catches a kick from Tojo. Tojo rebounds off the middle ropes. Beautiful kick from Tojo Yamamoto. And here comes the Iron Sheik again as Jeff Fortune tries to make his way to his corner to tag in Chris Wylde. The Iron Sheik absolutely lit up here as Chris Wylde is tagged in. The Iron Sheik moves in, locks up, kick to the midsection. of Chris Wylde. Chris counters with a kick of his own. Iron Sheik counters, goes behind on Chris. An elbow from Chris Wylde. They lock up again. And a suplex from Chris. The Iron Sheik catching hard right hands from Chris Wylde. And now, oh, here we go again. Chris Wylde absolutely relentless now. A rolling elbow to the chest of the Iron Sheik. Chris Wylde looks like he's setting up the same submission that Jeff Fortune used. He most certainly is. Willie Johnson monitoring the situation. And Chris Wylde has it equally well locked in. Iron Sheik could be in some trouble here. Chris releases the hold, and here comes Tojo Yamamoto. Tojo locks him up. Chris whipped to the far corner. Chris counters with an elbow. Tojo locks him up again, but look at this. Chris Wylde with an inverted DDT. A very nice counter. Chris with a flip over neck whip on Tojo. And going right back to work on the legs of Tojo Yamamoto with a heel hook stretch. Chris Wylde and Jeff Fortune, a very efficient team for sure. Whoa, a spear out of absolutely no place, and here's a cover with a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Oh, whoa, whoa. Tojo Yamamoto finds his way out, catches it. Oh, right in the nose. Slam face first, and here comes Jeff Fortune again. Tojo Yamamoto laid out center ring, and he ain't moving. Jeff Fortune capitalizing with a rear chin lock center ring. No ropes for Tojo to get to. The Iron Sheik watching intently, doesn't know if he's going to have to intercede here on behalf of Tojo. And here comes Chris Wylde again. Tojo has not moved from center ring since. A stomp to the shoulder from Chris Wylde as Chris makes his way to the top turnbuckle. And here we go. Beautiful diving crossbody. Look at the hang time on that one, huh? Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. 1, 2. And again, Tojo Yamamoto finding his way out of danger. Breaking the pin. Here's a kick to the head from Tojo. Locks up Chris. Winds him up. Beautiful kick right there. And here comes the Iron Sheik. And so far, this match, no sign of a winner so far. No wins, no pins, no tap outs. Look at this over here. Whoa! Double arm suplex from the Iron Sheik on Chris Wylde. Chris turned over by Sheiky Baby. This could be it right here. The Sheik calling for the camel clutch. And he has got it locked in. Tojo moves in, gets rid of Jeff Fortune. And that is it. Willie Johnson has just sounded the bell. Iron Sheik and Tojo Yamamoto, the new #1 contender.
Here's the time, 10 minutes and 40 seconds. Your winners, Tojo Yamamoto and the Iron Sheik.
Hey, check it out. I was, more or less, right on the money with this one. And it was a hard-fought match from both sides. So now, Sheik and Tojo will face Wilcox and Hollywood, and we could be looking at new Rage Tag Team Champions by next week. Sure, I feel a little badly for Chris and Jeff, but in the very big world of tag teams in RWL, another title shot will find them soon enough. Tommy Wilcox and Oliver Hollywood will be facing an even tougher challenge next week.
And that concludes the first hour of tonight's RWL Rage. We will be back with hour 2 right after this brief intermission.